Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I would love for you to hang around by clicking that subscribe button and a little bell next to it so you don't miss another video. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how I made these two beautiful home decor pieces. One is a mirror and the other is a mirrored planter. Let's go ahead and jump right into the first DIY. I'm going to be starting off with these Dollar Tree items, this scallop edge tray that I've used before, this a round mirror from the Dollar Tree, and I've already spray painted the scallop tray with the Rust-Oleum bright silver, and also the big serving tray that the Dollar Tree has. It's almost like mirrored. I'm also using one of those as my main base, so I'm gluing these two together. And then I'm going to be using some E6000 to glue my mirror onto the smaller tray. Then I'm going to be adding a little bit of hot glue just for the quick set. And I'm using the Gorilla hot glue. So once my mirror was centered, I started adding my embellishment. I'm using my flower mesh and I'm using one row of it right along the edge of the mirror where there is a little bit of a gap on the tray. And I'm just adding the hot glue on the back of each flower and aligning them. And I'm working with small strips because going in a circular motion, so I'm going to be doing it all around. And it helps me work better that way. Then for the next tray, I'm going to be using 2 rows. Again, working with the smaller strips is much easier. And I'm using 2 rows of the flower mesh. This time I actually added the glue every other flowers because, again, for the flexibility, it helped me kind of curve my flower mesh much more easily. If you run into an issue where you're joining your 2 strips and then you're missing, you have like a little bit of a gap, all you have to do is just cut out a single flower and just glue it right at the center or the area that has the gap, which happened to me right there, and that's what I did, and it looks great. Now I'm using these wood shapes from Michaels. They come in different shapes. I chose 2 different shapes or designs, and I already spray painted them in the Rust-Oleum metallic finish with the bright coat to give them that silver color. And I'm just arranging them the way I would around a clock, so like 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and then I put some shapes in between. Then I used some hot glue to glue it onto the bigger tray on the areas where they were touching. And I tried to line them up as best as I could. I have a really weird angle, so some of them were a little bit off, but you can't really tell too much. Next, for the second shape that I used with the different design, here it is right there, also spray painted, and I just added some hot glue at the edges, and then I glued them onto the areas where they were touching the 2 end pieces. So I went ahead and continued that all along the edge. You can definitely use E6000 here. And then to attach it to the wall, I'm going to be using a nail, and I just made a hole with my hot glue gun, and here's the final result. I think this looks so beautiful. I love the design of the wood pieces. They're so intricate, and it looks like just almost like a Venetian style mirror. And here is the second DIY. So I'm starting off with these 2 containers from the Dollar Tree, which I've worked with many times, and I'm going to be gluing some mirrors to the sides of them to create my mirrored box. So because I want it to be a little bit bigger this time, I'm going to be gluing 2 of the containers together around the edges, and I just added some hot glue for this, and I found that the hot glue works really well. The Gorilla Hot Glue secures them in place and they just don't go anywhere. You really have to try really hard. You may even break the containers to put them apart. Next, I started gluing my mirrors. I lined up the edge mirrors first, and then I figured the placement for the center. That's the best way that I found to work that out. And I'm also going to be using these smaller square mirrors that I get on Amazon to create my little diamond shape. So on one side, I'm going to be gluing the first row of mirrors. And then I'm working out my corners. So I didn't glue the second one just yet. I just added my napkin rings, which I've used this method before in previous video. And I added the end piece first and glued that on. And then I will go back and add that one piece to secure my corners. And then the next thing I did was to add more napkin rings so that I could create the next row on the other side of my planner box. So I added 3 napkin rings. You can definitely add a couple more if you feel more comfortable. That was enough for me. And then I started gluing my mirrors on. So I glued that corner first. And then I just kind of placed the center one there just to see where it would be. And then I glued the other edge, corner, or end corner, and mirror. And then I went ahead and glued the centered one so that everything was even. I hope that makes sense. So I'm just adding hot glue here. Definitely this is an E6000 plus hot glue situation. And when it comes to the little diamond shapes, all you have to do is use some E6000 on the edges and then put them right there at the center between the 2 mirrors, and then you'd have something that looks like this. Next, what you're going to do is add your floral foam. I'm just using regular dry floral foam from the Dollar Tree and the Dollar Tree White Roses, which I've also used many times because they're my favorite actually. And I went ahead and just played with an arrangement. If you guys are interested in how to arrange flowers, let me know in the comments below, and because I never really show that. So for final embellishments, I use my flower mesh and a little bit of a crystal gem at the middle. I added some hot glue to the back and glued it right onto the mirror, and here's the final result. You guys, I really love how this turned out. I really love the diamond shape in between the 2 mirrors. This is just really beautiful for spring decor. I have a couple of different floral arrangements that I'll show you. There's the white roses, and I also made a new one with some other flowers that I had laying around, which is more springy, almost even more summery, with some yellow flowers, some much brighter colors. It's pretty much up to your taste what you'd like to do with it. And again, if you want to see how to arrange flowers, let me know in the comments below. I thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll talk to you in my next one. God bless and bye-bye.